Alright, so today is about the expiry day ever, at least according to some people in my chat. So we'll see if that's the case today. See, the Q is kind of flat, but had a pretty green day yesterday. Like the SPY's red too. Q was break even, but both of them had a pretty good day yesterday. So let me know what you're watching the most today. We might trade some options today just because it's quad wishing day and it might be that time. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the largest option expiry days ever. Again, if you don't know what quad witching day is, it's a day of historical volatility in which all four major contract types expire same day. That's stock options, index options, stock futures, index futures. Although stock futures are not really a thing anymore, but still, it's still a pretty big day of volatility. All right, team. All right, team. So yeah. What's up, pawn? All right. Yeah, largest September expiry day in record. Ford and GM stocks should dump today. Honestly, bro, my swing trades are doing really nice, dude. Like, I've been patient with a lot of these, like Honeywell. Honeywell's done me really nice. Google, Ford, Disney, American Express, Apple, PayPal, Target, TSN, Walmart, Exxon. Bro, I had the worst dream, dude. Like the worst dream, man. Honestly, it's a dream I don't even want to talk about. It was terrible. You know. It was weird. It was terrible. It was just not good dream, man. They say dreams are your brain. They say dreams are your brain's recycling content, basically. And so dreams are kind of like brain farts, for lack of a better word, because it's your brain releasing insignificant information. Is what they think dreams are. They really don't know, but that's what they think they are. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what song this is. There we go. Yeah, this was like a vivid dream. This is a dream where when I woke up, I was still sad. Like I was bummed out when I woke up, and then I realized it was a dream, and I was happy that it was just a dream. You know, weird freaking dream, dude. Again, I don't even want to say what it was. Bruce got fixed yesterday, so Bruce is like, I'm kind of feel bad about getting Bruce fixed though, because he's such a pretty freaking dog. But like, I don't want to be a dog breeder, you know? Like that's just not what I want to do. I don't have the time for that, dude. Honestly, no offense, but the money I would make from breeding Bruce is not worth the stress of that, you know? And so I'm just not gonna, like, we just got him fixed. He ate Carol's garden. So all right, guys. All right. Carnival Cruise. Hey, good luck, Daniel. Hope you make some money, brother. If you don't remember it, it was just that. But if you do, it was a lesson that needs to be learned. Yeah, but dude, in the dream, okay, so like I'll go ahead and explain my dream. And it was weird. All right, I'm gonna preface my dream explanation with it was freaking weird. Okay, so in the dream, I had committed like a bloody crime, and like I was back to everything was normal. You know, like I was trying to live life with the family, but like I knew I had done it, and I knew the cops were on my tail, like, you know, getting ready to figure it out, you know. And then right at the end of the dream, they figured it out, but they didn't know it was me that did it, you know. And so it was just a weird dream, man. Like I woke up and I was like freaking stressed out. That's that's as deep as I'll go into it. There's a lot more to it, like a lot more like yeah, that's as deep as I'm going into it. It was just weird, man. It was just weird. I've never really had a dream like that, and I don't usually remember my dreams. Usually, like, you know, your dreams are weird because a lot of times they say your dreams are your brain recycling information. Maybe I watch too much true crime, but generally, like, you'll wake up and your dream will just like disappear over time. Like if it is, especially if it's not like a crazy dream that you'll remember. A lot of the time you'll wake up and then slowly over the next hour, your dream will just kind of fade out, right? This one is not faded out. I still remember the entire thing, which is weird, you know? Yeah, it was a weird dream, man. UAW striking. Are they seriously wanting 32 a week? I feel like no way Ford and GM are going to be able to afford that. Maybe. Agreement deadline passes. UAW strike. I'm assuming you mean 32 an hour is what you mean, right? They're wanting 32 an hour? Yeah, how'd the ARM IPO do? Did great. Honestly, so the hype remained. It did great. So they expire after today, right? So today's the last day in which they so the reason it's a day of, like, think about the psychology behind it, right? So quad witching is a day of historical volatility in which, again, all four major contract types expire same day. They don't really have stock futures anymore, but so it's really triple witching day, but I'm gonna, for lack of a better term for it, I'm just gonna call it quad witching day, since that's what people recognize the most. But it's a day of historical volatility, and if you think about the psychology behind it, right, like, think about it like this. Option traders, it's a day of historical volatility. So like all three major contract types expire. So stock futures are no longer a thing, but it would include stock futures, index futures, right? So that would be like the E-mini, the NASDAQ mini, Dow mini, like the futures contracts you see me trading today, or that you see me trading on a regular basis. The last day I can trade those contracts is today. They expire today. So I have to roll over to the more liquid contracts. That's one, right? Index futures is what those are called. Index options, and so like SPY options, Q options, so forth and so on. S&P 500 options, it would mostly be S&P 500 options. I don't know if it would be SPY options. I don't think so. But regardless, S&P options, NASDAQ options expiring today. So it would be stock futures, which is not really a thing. Index futures, which is what I just talked about. Stock options, right? So stock options like Tesla, Netflix, all that stuff, they expire today. And then index options. So again, S&P, NASDAQ, all that stuff, they all expire today, right? And so if you're holding option contracts and they expire at the end of the day today, there's going to be a lot of buys and sells in those areas, right? There's going to be a lot of purchasing, a lot of buying and selling in those areas. And that is what causes the volatility, because everybody's on like a time crunch. Everybody knows these options are expiring at the end of the day today, and they're on kind of like a time crunch, right? That is the logic of the psychology behind why quad witching day is a day of historical volatility. It only happens 4 times a year, I believe, which would be March 17th, June 16th, September 15th, and December 15th. So now they want 32-hour work week. Well, what's wrong with that, though? I mean, isn't a normal work week 40 hours? And so they just want a reasonable week to work. Like, I'm for unions, and I understand the use of unions. Like, I understand the use of unions to combat, like, out of control capitalism. Like, I do understand the use of unions. I also think, though, I also understand the business owner's perspective of unions, right? Like, I also understand the business owner's perspective, in which I'm sure they see unions as a huge pain in the butt, man. Like, they freaking hate unions. Hmm. Yeah, I've got this like rash on my neck, man, that like from somebody getting a collar grip on me in jiu-jitsu. You know, like it hurts. Hmm. All right. All right, team. So again, look at ARM, man. The ARM IPO. You can see it RPO'd. It opened up at like 58. It got all the way to 68. So up $10 a share, which looks to be a little bit under 20%. Quad witching day is a day. Again, I've already said it, but I'll say it again. It's a day of historical volatility in which all four major contract types expire. Stock index or stock futures, index futures, stock options, index options all expire today. Well, Ford is fine. People think Ford, because it's $12.50 a share, is struggling like bad, but let's take a look. I guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, Ford is struggling. And I'm in Ford right now, to be honest. I'm green in it. But it's a very small trade. I'm in at 1170. But yeah, the problem with Ford is simple, man. Ford is struggling to stay afloat. And so here is Ford, just to take a look at like the EPS graph, which is a gauge on profitability, right? So EPS is profitability, like it's how profitable Ford is. The first thing I notice here is like on a yearly perspective, they're still struggling, but on a quarterly perspective, they've been doing a little bit better. The last 3 quarters have been much better for Ford. I'll have to look at what they're expecting for their next EPS report, but Ford's been doing a little bit better. But yeah, I don't think it's a good time for the, I don't think it's a good time for the unions to kind of start messing with Ford and GM. I don't think they're big enough to really worry about that right now. And I get people want work, but yeah, I tend to agree. Like Ford is on the brisk of failure, on the cusp of failure. GM is probably worse. Let me see. I'm not a big GM investor. I'll put some money into Ford if it drops low enough. I'm not really a big GM investor. I don't trust it enough. Although GM looks, and this is counter to what I thought, right? So here's General Motors. Their EPS, they're looking a lot better than Ford. Like they have much more consistent quarterly profits, much more consistent yearly profits. Like GM hasn't had a losing year since 2018, and so yeah, they've been doing all right. They haven't had a losing quarter since 2020. So GM's actually looking much better than Ford, which is interesting because I thought it would be the opposite. Yeah, it's called quad witching, but it's really triple witching because again, it's really triple witching because stock futures are not a thing anymore, which I wish they were. Like, right? Like, how nice would it be to trade stock futures? Like imagine if we had like Apple futures and you could just day trade Apple with no PDT rule. right? It would be lovely, but that's not how it goes. Man, my Disney trade consistently making me money, man. Bro, Disney up to 85s. I'm gonna take some more off here. I might as well, right? They don't pay dividends, so I have no like use to hold it there. So we just cut some more off of Disney. Took some more off at 85s. Our average is 81 basically too. So, you know, we're all the way up at 85. Really nice percentage gain there. So like we made over 8-9% on this trade. I think. I'll have to check. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny, man. It's like, bro, people have the wrong mentality. Like, I generally think people, for whatever reason, like people want to bet against certain stocks, and I understand it. Like, I do understand it, but I think people have the wrong mentality of it, in which like people should have the mentality of like, hey, Disney's down a whole bunch. You know, like again, a relatively new trader might look at Disney being down and say, hey, Disney's down a bunch. You know, it must be weak, right? And I get that logic. I understand that logic. It seems true to convention, right? It seems like that would be generally true. But in stock trading, it can be the opposite. You know, so like once it hits a certain amount down, right? When Disney starts to crack lows and break under levels, it's very rare that it's just going to keep on slamming down, you know? And it's much more likely, in fact, that Disney, a healthy long-term company, is going to bounce back. And so when we start to get these big breakdowns, I love adding up to it, man. Again, a lot of people were talking smack to me about Disney too over the last few months, because Disney, people know I talk about Disney a lot. And Disney ended up dropping down to like $80 a share, you know? And so, but again, what I did was I added to it when it dipped, got an $81 average, and rode this nice bounce back. Mostly been scaling out of it. I just took some more out. If you remember yesterday, I had like 40 or 50 shares left. I just took another 10 or 15 off. You can see on the last bit, we have 30 shares left, up about 120 on just those 30 shares. Average price on these last shares is like 81 something. So really nice average there. We'll take it. That's the first rule of stock trading: buy low, sell high. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm in the Teamsters Union, and I agree them getting back some of their wages and benefits they had to give up in the past. Yeah. I mean, I get it. But I'm also a capitalist, and so I think, like I said, I understand the risks of that too. ARM up to $70 here. Let's take a look. Does ARM have options right now, or is there no options on it? Let's see. No. I think you have to wait 2 days, right, to get options on stocks after IPOs. There's some type of restriction there. I might be wrong, though. Yeah. No, I didn't really play ARM. But I'm watching it today for sure. big movement. All right, guys. So make sure you give me a follow on TT. Beginner trading, all one word. We've been growing it lately, man. It's slow growth, but we've been growing it. Morning from Arkansas. What's up, Kevin? Good morning from Houston, man. Yeah, I mean, YouTube lets me use certain things. Like, I'm gonna just put this up on screen. Put this up on screen. Yeah, look at ARM. Are you guys buying ARM? Yeah, y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, team, if you haven't already. Let me do a poll. Today being quad witching day. All right, so the question of our poll is, with today being quadruple witching day in stocks, where the market closed green, yes or no, vote on that poll. Go ahead and vote. Hit that vote button, guys. Also, bump the like button up. Let's try to hit 100 likes if we can. Yeah, I got some friends that live in Florida, man. I got this old friend that I used to know from my hometown. And man, this dude, like growing up, he was always kind of like narcissistic, man. Like he was always talking about how great he was going to do and all these great things that he was going to do. And then he just didn't. Then he just kind of effed off and like didn't do much, right? And like now that he's older, you could tell he's just like a huge hater of my channel, right? Like you could tell this dude is just like a big hater. Like he's not, like, of course he's not open about it, but like I can just tell. And it's weird and it's unfortunate that like people are so weird, but like, you know, that's what I think about when I go to Florida. I'm just not trying to visit him. Again, I'm pretty sure he's narcissistic. He turned religious, right? But like it's not like helpful religious, where he's not like pushing people and being kind. He's actually just doing the opposite. He's just talking about how great he is, and yeah, talking about how great he is, talking about how he is chosen. Honestly, he could start a cult from how he acts. You know, that's what it seems like the next step for him is. Joining live from Philly, go Eagles! Hey, my Saints will beat you guys this year, but that's all right. I like Jalen Hurts. Listen, I like Jalen Hurts. All right. I thought y'all should have won last year, but you know. I mean, I'm a Louisiana guy, so like if I had to pick Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts, I'm picking Burrow all day. Even though Burrow lost his opener, it's still all good. AMD. Well, AMD is interesting. ARM is the new IPO in microchips, right? So ARM is the new microchip stock that everybody's kind of talking about. ARM. The high school big jock ended up as the janitor at the same high school 10 years later. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of the that's what I tell my daughter, right? My daughter would be like, "Hey, dad, hey, daddy, these kids are being mean to me. They're making fun of me or whatever it is, right?" And I'll tell her, I'll be like, "Look, that's okay, because all the people I knew that were like that when I was young, like all the people I knew when I was young that behaved that way, right? Like everybody that behaved that way when I was in school and once I was out of school, right? Like the people who were always talking about how great they were going to do, that were always making fun of other people, they over time have done the worst out of everybody I know, right? And so I tell my daughter, I'm like, look, you're just young. You got your whole life, you know. Don't worry too much. It just means, and I tell her, I was like, look, anybody that behaves that way, it's really just based off of their own insecurity, right? Like people that are secure with themselves, like they don't have to go around putting other people down. And so, you know, if they're behaving that way, it just means they're struggling. And so you should pity them. You shouldn't hate them for it. And like in the end, you'll figure it out. Oh man, that's a good one, Joe. I've never heard that one. Joe said, I like that joke. I've never heard that one. The Browns, bro. Hey, the Browns did good, dude. The Browns did, they did that. I'm happy for them. They beat the Bengals. I mean, props to them, man. Nobody thought that would happen, but they've got so many good first round picks in the draft after sucking for so many years that like it's not a shock they're okay now. Same thing that happened to the Bengals, really. So you can't really hate on the Browns beating the Bengals because it's kind of the same thing that happened to the Bengals, where the Bengals got Joe first pick of the draft because they sucked for so long. The Bengals had a really bad decade or two. Hey, good morning, Michael. All right, guys. Hey, y'all hit that like button here. Bump that like button up. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. We'll see what today's like. Again, we got some votes. 56 votes. 55% say yes. The market closes green. 45% say no. A little split down the middle, though. Yeah. I mean, it's all right. Y'all made it to the World Series. So, I mean, y'all are still doing okay. Y'all are doing better than you were Pawn. So, I mean, we can't really get mad. Yeah. I didn't even know TT had a message system. But so France banning iPhone 12 sales over high radiation and emission levels. Are iPhone radiation levels higher than like Samsung? I gotta keep my phone out of my pocket, dude. All right, guys. All right, let's see. All right, guys. Let me see what else we got. Team. Sorry, I'm looking at some other stuff. Again, the ARM IPO. Bear with me. I gotta mute this for a second. The music, that is. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm uploading this video to TT. If you want to give me a follow, again, beginner trading on TT. What's the plan for the day? I'm just watching for the volatility. Thoughts on Starlink satellite now in the hands of maybe. I don't know how much it's going to affect it. Yeah, ARM is great. It's up big on the day. It's a microchip stock related to AI. Again, so I got to turn the music back on. Bear with me. I just have to check this out. Yeah, again, I don't know if I buy this alien stuff, man. Again, it looks like they made a sandcastle and they just drew the eyes and they drew the mouth. Yeah, it's questionable. Yeah, these aliens are questionable, dude. Let me know if you think they're real. I don't know if I buy it, but hey, I saw D Daniel play a short stack tournament. Yeah, my best play is when I'm short stacked. You know, because again, with short stack, it's more positional, right? Like your job as a short stack is to go all in. If you have a good hand, you're trying to isolate one or two people, right? If you have a bad hand, your job is to identify moments in which everybody else is weak and capitalize on everybody else reluctancy to go big because you can. And so I actually love playing short stacked. Uh, it's some of my best play as a poker player is short stacked poker. Uh, Again, Disney up more today, man, just doing really well. What's up, Arif? Aliens are real? Yeah, I think they probably are, but again, it's kind of like I think there's probably some type of aliens. I think the evidence of extraterrestrials over time is very high up there. I think that if you look at most like cultures from around the world, right? Like they all have generally they all have these mythos of beings that they encountered, thousands of years ago, and they all have different ones. You can look at all the major ones. Even like biblical expert, like biblical. Even if you think about what the Bible actually says, right? The Bible says that angels came down to earth and mated with women. You know, um, and produce giants. You know what I mean? So like people can, you get a lot of like Christians that say, "Oh, aliens aren't real" or whatever it is, but it's like, bro, like the Bible literally talks about them. You know, like, but I think people are so rigid in how they look at things that like you got to look at things with an open mind and understand it. Like I challenge you guys to read the Bible, but in the context of read the Bible in the context of fiery chariot, meaning UFO, right? Like fiery flying chariot, meaning UFO, and you'll get some interesting conclusions there. Even like the trumpets in Revelation, right? They sound like missiles, is what they're describing. They're sounding like missiles shooting from something, is what the trumpets, because they'll say in like Revelation that the trumpets like broke open something, like something shot down, like trumpets, right? Sounds like missiles or like launchers or some sort. Really interesting when you read it in that context. Again, I'm not saying I believe any of it. I'm just saying like I like to look at things with an open mind, and it's a fun read if you look at it that way. But okay, gotcha, Pawn. Let me pull it up, dude. I haven't even pulled up Discord yet. Spy options are heavily on the call side. If market makers can push price down a lot, they'll force those out of the money and keep a lot of premiums. Interesting. Yeah, I might trade some options today. We might have some fun with it. We're gonna trade futures like we always do, but we might trade some options today. We'll see. What about David and Goliath the giant? Yeah, well, again, Goliath was probably one of those hybrid offspring. And again, you can either look at this as truth or you can look at it as like science fiction. Either way, it's interesting, I think. Um, but there was another theory that like aliens came down and mated with women and and then like the gods of Greek mythology were those hybrid beings like Zeus and all these other beings were like hybrids from you know from those offspring, right? Goliath, Zeus, like all these different like Greek mythology creatures or whatever it was were just these different beings. Again, I'm not saying I believe that that one's a little out there, but I thought it was fun to think about. Um, but again, I think this topic is a little bit divisive, so it might be better to just not talk about it. Ancient Sumerian tablets clearly show the solar system with the sun in the middle. Yeah. Ford. Speaking of Ford, Ford's popping up a little bit now. This is after the union drama going on with Ford and GM. It's up to 1240s. Yeah. 3.4 trillion options expired today. Very good day to trade. Or not options expire, but options. Where you see Apple going. I don't know, man. Apple has been very volatile. I've been in Apple. I don't know when I bought Apple. Let me see. So I've been holding Apple, very small trade, uh, since August. I've been holding Apple, right? And we're green on the Apple trade. I think we've already scaled out of a lot of this trade as well. But Apple has been very volatile if we look at it. Look at Ford bounce. There must be some positive news here. But look at Apple. So here's Apple. It's at 176. Here's a 20-day chart. And so Apple's had a really good year, but a rough couple weeks. It started pulling back. It was almost at $200. And again, I talk about this all the time where like a lot of the time big milestone levels will tap and then we'll come all the way back down. So like 200 basically was tapped right here from Apple. And then it's basically been falling down. After the iPhone conference, Apple's been struggling to hold as well. Although it has bounced back some, it hit lows of 173s. It's at 176 now, but it was at 190 before the conference on the 5th of September. So we'll see what happens. We're watching it. I'm in a very small trade on Apple. Average price is 175s. So we're green, but not super green here. Again, Ford starting to bounce up. Let me see if there's any news. They're dealing with GM union strikes from workers wanting more work basically from them. Citi now expects the ECB to begin cutting rates in June of 24 versus September. That's good news. Let's see what else we got today. I think we don't have much going on. I think we might have one thing dropping at 10 o'clock. Again, Apple at 176. I'm watching it. We got a little pop back. We're very green on the day too today. We are green in Walgreens again. Walgreens, I've been in Walgreens. I've been losing in it. But Walgreens has had a nice little bounce back too. We're still red in it, but could be worse. Walgreens is scheduled their so Walgreens boots among firms receiving warning letters against selling unapproved eye products. Why has Walgreens been bouncing back so much over the last few days? Walgreens is going to participate in TD Cowen's 8th annual Future Health Conference. So I think a lot of people are getting front loaded into that. Yeah, Europe is different. Yeah, I think buying an EV Mustang is silly. You know, like why buy like a EV Mustang? It just doesn't make sense. Hmm. It's just a day of historical volatility. Han. So he said, what can happen on the day of quad witching? It's just a day where we usually get some volatile price action. Again, I see Ford bouncing up. I don't know if they had any good news or not. I know they're dealing with union strikes right now for Ford. And so I know Ford's dealing with like union strikes. Uh, the strike fund is at 825 million. Hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you what though, like these unions striking against Ford and GM are just going to push Ford and GM to start producing these vehicles somewhere else. You know. Yeah, I don't like Fords at all. I've never been a Ford guy. So I've never been a Ford person. I always like Tundras, and I know it's a foreign car, but like I always like Tundras. I like Tundras. I like Chevys to a certain extent. I don't like Rams. I don't like Ford. I don't really like, you know. All right, so Binance over the last 3 months has lost their chief strategy officer, their VP of compliance, head of product resigns, general counsel, head of APAC resigns, and again, there's Binance US CEO resigned, head of legal resigns, chief risk officer resigned. So Binance has lost a lot of people over the last year. Jim Chanos still says he has an active short against Tesla stock. Tesla's up 156% year to date. Yeah, again, the problem, like again, there's so much oil, so much oil hype, you know. Hmm. All right, guys. Hey, what's up, Todd? Yeah, I like Chevys. Chrysler. Not a big Chrysler guy either. Yeah. Yeah, I think Walgreens has a better argument long term for than Dollar Tree, right? Dollar Tree, again, people just don't use that type of business much anymore. Where a lot of people still go to Walgreens for prescriptions, you know. So like a lot still go to Walgreens for prescriptions. They get 280 for Tesla today, maybe. Yeah, you'd be drinking all day, G. Uh, but no, 280 for Tesla. Tesla at 278.40s. I mean, it's like a dollar. It's like a 150 away from 280. So it's possible. I mean, it could certainly hit it. Uh, we'll see if it does, but I think a lot of people are watching 300 for Tesla. Like if we look at Tesla, Tesla's had a great couple days, man. Walgreens definitely has the edge. Well, I don't even think it's that. I think it's just old people, man. Most of the people I see at Walgreens are old people. All right, so Adam Aaron saying, quote, we launched our own brand of home popcorn and soon we'll launch our own branded line of premium gourmet chocolate candies. If we offered at our theaters our own branded wine too, we might name it Chateau Simeon or Saint Simeon in honor of our retail investors. Your opinion? See, this is just pandering though. Like, listen, your own chocolate brand and popcorn is not going to save AMC, bro. You know, AMC ended up dipping a lot yesterday too. Yeah, Bulldog Trading responding. A day late and a dollar short. You have had years to take advantage of the fan base and increase the value of your company. Instead, you dilute your shareholders into oblivion with Wall Street insider games that will eventually cost you your fan base. You're too late. I kind of agree with them. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah, most people no do other things, man. I would do other things. Hmm. What a troll. Beautiful green day in markets. All right, so a major bank is rumored to be exiting the auto lending business tomorrow. They have over 3,000 dealer partners nationwide. It's unconfirmed. Uh, yeah, man. UAW reportedly wants $300,000 a year to work 4 days a week per Ford CEO. UAW wants 300K a year to work 4 days a week, according to Ford. Is this really what they're saying? Oh, my bad, guys. I'm muted here. I just recognized we're muted. But What's crypto doing right now, man? Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 26,500 still. Calvin and Hobbes. All right, so Tesla has removed the Model Y AWD all-wheel drive variant from their U.S. website. This means Model Y now starts at 50.5 thousand in the U.S. before incentives. They might be wanting to allocate the 4680 cell production capacity for the Cybertruck. Yeah, so the ECB rates are now at the highest since '99. Yeah, so Bruce got fixed yesterday. I'm still kind of, like I said, I still feel kind of bad. All right, guys. So again, we'll see if quad witching. I mean, we're still getting some volatility. Here's Tesla. Tesla at 278.50s. Here's AMD. Right. Let's see if AMD. Here's Nvidia. Nvidia down a little bit yesterday. Not the biggest red day though. Still over 450s, which is good. Again, AMC kind of gave back a lot of the crazy run up over 9 that it did. Google still sitting at almost 140s. Google's had a great time. Disney as well. Disney testing highs up there at 85.20s. Meta, man, I haven't looked at Meta in a long time, but Meta's still over 300 at 312s. Anything else that you guys think we should look at today? Again, we might trade some options today since it's quad witch. Let me know if you guys think we should. Again, hit that like button, guys. Bump those like numbers up if you haven't already. Yeah, we got 79 likes. We could do better than that, team. Yeah, I've been in Exxon for the last couple months. Yeah, Apple's been pulling back the last few days. There might be an argument for a dip buy. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm in PayPal too. And PayPal's green as well. Like we're in our average price on PayPal is 62.20s. So can ARM test 70? It definitely could. I'm not sure if it will, but it could. All right, team. Yeah, we're probably going to trade some options at the open too. What else we got, team? Burry said it would be like this. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you really like Burry Ace, and I get it. But, like, Burry said it would crash a year ago. He also said it would crash about a year before that. He also said it would crash about 4 years before that. He also said it would crash again a few years before that. He has been very bearish over the past year, and the market has mostly ripped up like 10-15% this year. And so, I mean, we can pretend he's right just because we idolize him or whatever it is, but like, he's been wrong. Again, here's the SPY this year. Market's been pretty strong. All right, PayPal's still doing good. Yeah, let me know if you guys think these aliens are real or fake. So, the big $1 million buy-in for the WPT. Ford, man. Why is Ford pushing up, though? PayPal is pushing up with us. Again, SPY up big. ARM pulling back some. Yeah, like... Again, one of the things, like, one of my biases, and I say it every day because it's just true, and it's genuinely how I feel. I couldn't fake it if I wanted to, but one of my biases is like, look, it's fine to be short bias, right? But when the market's pushing up 15% on the year, or whatever we're up right now, how much are we up on the year? Let me look. Here's a yearly chart, right? So here's the last 52 weeks. To calculate the percentage here, let's say we started this off at 390. We started the year off at 390. We are up $60 a share from 390. Yeah, the market is up 15.34% this year. 15.34 or 15.38%. So basically, the market's up 15% in the last 52 weeks. You know, even if we calculate like just 2023 alone, right? Even if we calculate just 2020, we're actually up more than that in 2023. And so we are up in 2023 alone. We're up more than that. We are up 18% in 2023. And so the market in just 2023 is up like almost 20%, you know. And this is a period in which Burry said the market was not going to be up. He told everybody the market was going to crash. And so I get being short biased, but I think being too rigid with that and just refusing to accept reality and instead like just doing mental gymnastics to avoid looking at it objectively, you know. I mean, again, it's all love here. I think that's wrong, but like, hey, it's all love. All right, guys. So in poker, when someone plays badly, optimal play in the vacuum of the match is to say nothing. How about outside of the match and in real life? Well, in real life, the good move is to actually say something. Yeah, the casinos, man, are struggling. Again, we're going to see about ARM. When do ARM options open up? Like, I know you have to wait a couple days for options to open. PayPal stablecoin. Is that why PayPal is up? I mean, I'm in PayPal. I haven't really, I guess I'll take a little bit of profit. I'm just, honestly, a lot of these I'm just sitting in. Like, I guess I'll sit some more. I feel bad to a certain extent. I feel bad cutting some of these because I'm up enough to take profit, but I also feel bad because they might just keep on running. And so like I'm in Disney, but I've already taken most of the profit off of it. I'm in Microsoft, same thing. I'm in Oracle, same concept. I'm in PayPal, same concept. Roblox. Honestly, I'm hoping Roblox. We still got over a month for Roblox to break 30. But it's just struggling, man. It got up to 29.50s for a day and then bounced back. Just volatile. I'm in a Roblox call option, and I have been for like 3 weeks now. It's a $30 call option and expires. When does this thing expire? It expires October 23rd, so we still got like a month and a week for it to break back over 30. But it's not looking great. Yeah, man. Casinos, man. Caesars had to pay out $30 million to hackers, which is crazy. Where do y'all think the hackers are coming from? I think they've got to be coming from overseas. The only way you could justifiably like do this and have the potential to get away with it is if you're in another country overseas, right? If you're in the US, they're going to find you. But if you're overseas, that's where you might be able to just, Burry isn't that long. I follow his portfolio. Maybe. For the past 5 trading days, the closing price of the stock must have a minimum per share price for a majority of trading days. This means that IPOs issued cannot have options on them until 5 days after the IPO. Must be at least 2,000 shareholders in the company. Okay, yeah, so we got 5 days. So we're not going to be able to mess with ARM options today, and that's all right. Again, Google. Interesting. Look at Meta. Again, Meta. Here's a 90-day chart for Meta. An interesting chart is a 20-day chart. Meta, very strong over the last 20 days. I think bulls are too optimistic about the government not messing up the soft landing. Maybe, but I think the problem is like, okay, you could be short biased and that's fine. And I understand it. Like, I know the market's not just going to go straight up, but one of the arguments I hear all the time is like, yeah, short traders might be too rigid, but long traders are perma bulls, right? Like, you can't be a perma bull as well. But again, that's where I think they don't really understand, because again, I say this every day, but like, you can hold on to stuff on the long side if it's a blue chip company, and eventually you're going to make money from that trade. I would say at least 85% of the time, if it's a blue chip healthy company and you sit on it, you're going to make money eventually if you hold on to it long enough. In shorting, the opposite is true, right? Like, in shorting, the opposite is true. And I understand some people are just pessimistic. Some people are skeptics. And I'm a skeptic. I'm a natural skeptic myself. It might not seem that way, but I really am like a natural skeptic in everything. But I think regardless of me being a natural skeptic, I don't think you can ignore the true, like the real long-term edge in blue chip large cap stocks, which is the upside, right? Like, that's the true edge, no matter what anybody says. And I think people just get talked into like sitting on long-term shorts in blue chip companies, and they don't really realize like how bad of an idea that is. But I think, and again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't know how to make money on the short side long term. I never short any blue chip healthy companies. And so, and again, I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. I'm not sure. I don't want it to seem like I'm just, you know. Options on the bear flag formation forming on the SPY, on the SPX. Opinions on the bear flag formation forming on the SPX. What time frame is the bear flag? I'll look at it big, but what time frame is it? Oh, dude. My back hurts from jiu-jitsu, man. It really does. Bro, I rolled with a black belt yesterday. He's like the coach. And, he usually, like, his arms hurt, so he usually can't, like, roll with us. But, like, one of my buddies and I stayed late after class yesterday and rolled with him. And, dude, just pressure, bro. Just pressure. Pressure to, like, no matter what position you're in, you could be in full guard, half guard, side control, mount, back mount, whatever it is. No matter where he's at, it hurts a little bit. Is the best way I can describe it. And so, bro, let's say you buy dip in stocks, lower your costs when stocks come to your lower cost and sell it for half the cost. How come stocks show lower price? Is that your price? If get lower or profit? I'm not really sure what you're asking me, Boba. 1 month chart? You mean looking back? What do you mean a 1 month chart? You mean every candlestick represents 1 month? Every candlestick represents what? What is the time frame per candlestick? Like a 1 minute candlestick chart, a 5 minute candlestick chart? Or do you mean looking back at the last 30 days? Again, give me the time frame of the candlesticks is what I need. Because there's so many like variations of time frames to look at stuff. I'm not going to be able to see what you're seeing unless you give me the time frame of the candlesticks. I have real estate investment trusts in my portfolio. I've noticed they are growing because of the inflation. Not financial advice. I'm looking on the daily, but I think the pattern begins on the 27th of July. All right, so you're looking at this. Where's the bear flag, though? When I put up a daily chart, all I really see is, you said the 27th of July. This is the bear flag you're talking about? So you're talking about this right here? That? Is that what you're talking about? Let me know if I got that right. Okay. Well, I see what you're saying. Oh, no. There it is. Okay, there we go. I see the chart, right? I see the pattern. The problem is like when you zoom out, it looks actually like a bull flag. So like when you zoom out here, again, here's the long-term trend, right? Problem is when you zoom out, that's a little bit broken, but my point is when you zoom out, like you could draw the same pattern on the long side. And so I think like anybody can isolate, like for instance, you could do the same thing right here, right? Like really, if we're looking back at history, this looks the same as this, right? Like, doesn't it? Like that looks the same as this. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say is like anybody can isolate a specific thing and go like this, and say, oh, look, a bear flag, or whatever. But, look, a bear flag right here, But like, I think you got to take the whole picture out. You got to zoom out a little bit. They always say when in doubt, zoom out. But again, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Maybe you're right. Maybe we do get a big bear flag. I don't know. You might be right, and nobody knows. It's all subjective, and it's all good, man. Again, SPY at 449s. We bounced off that level a couple different times, and today is quadruple witching day, a day of historical volatility in which all four major contract types expire same day, including stock options, index options, and index futures, all expiring today. It's really triple witching, but because they don't really have stock futures anymore. I wish they did. That would be great. But they don't have stock futures anymore. So it's not really quad witching. It's triple witching, but everybody still calls it quad witching. So we're going to call it that too. Yeah, y'all go check out Beach Bums live stream tomorrow. Team, check it out. Yeah. Magical legumes. Daniel. Magical legumes, not beans. Quad witch sounds more menacing, yeah. All right, team. So, yep. SPY sideways. Meta. Anything else to look at? Where's Amazon? I haven't looked at Amazon in a minute either. Netflix got a lot of people talking. Netflix is down. Is Netflix worth a dip buy? I'm thinking about buying Netflix here. I mean, okay, here's a 20-day chart, right? Netflix is down a lot over the last couple days at least. Here's a 180-day chart though, so that's still very strong. But I think when you zoom out more, you see what big dips Netflix was in since 700s, and 400 might be a good price. But the problem is, like, okay, I think the risk here with a trade like Netflix is this. All right, so we're at $400 now. I don't think it's super unreasonable to think that Netflix could drop down to 300 right here, right? So if Netflix drops down to 300, you just lost 25%. You know, you got 20K, you just lost 5 of that on that drop down to 400. If I buy 20K worth of Netflix, and so risky, you know. Now, I think it's probably going to go back up from there, and I think you would just have to sit on it and hold. But I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility of Netflix dropping from 4 to 300. But let me know what you all think. Nvidia, interesting as well. Again, Nvidia still in this little trend. We drew this trend a couple weeks ago, and Nvidia is still holding that trend, still moving in that trend. What do you suggest? I'm debating on myself on if I should go for a 1-month buy on Apple, because there's always going to go up in the month of October, except 2020 October they went down. Yeah, nothing always happens, Prince. I understand the trade idea, and again, to a certain extent, that's what I'm doing as well this month. What's interesting though is I told people I thought maybe this September would be different, and that we might actually have a green September, because everybody is expecting it to be red. So everybody's expecting September slump, red September. But, I think it's possible we have a green month, but the problem is, like, okay, so we opened up the month at 453 on the SPY. At 453 is where the SPY opened up the month, right? So we're at about 449. So we are slightly red in September. And so we're technically red now. And again, we'll see what we get today in terms of market reactions here. Again, it's quadruple witching day. All right, guys, again, see if we do have the New York State Manufacturing Index dropping today. All right, team. To watch gold. Yeah, we do have manufacturing data today. And it is a quadruple witching day. Yeah, so we're watching some other stuff too, but we do have the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Let me see what else we got here. All right, so again, we do have the Empire State Manufacturing Index, 830. The data drops in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Is today Friday? It is Friday. Yeah, we could look at ARM. ARM back slightly under the previous closing price, technically red on the day now. Kind of giving them back a lot of these gains. Are you buying this dip in ARM? I don't usually play with IPOs, so I don't want to get tempted to take some crazy risks. But if I do buy it, it's going to be like 10 shares. All right. All right, we're in 10 shares of ARM. We'll play with it. Spy back over the VWAP. Yeah, Bruce got fixed yesterday, man, so he is not loving life right now. Crazy news that all right. Yes, I asked people on TT if they thought this was fake or real. They said fake. Another video debunked it. Again, ARM back up a little bit. We'll see if this is good. I traded it yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, my stock trade's still doing really nice today. Get Disney still doing good, bro. Honestly, Disney has been one of the ones that people hate on me the most for buying Disney a lot, but like what I realized, guys, is like genuinely, like if you want to know why I'm so biased, the stocks that people hate on me the most for buying are usually the ones that do the best, which is very odd. You know, it kind of shows like, again, people are just emotional, but like everybody hates on Disney. Everybody hated on Target too. I bought Target, people freaked out. You know, Target did great, honestly. Target, that dip buy on Target worked beautifully. Like we bought Target. And Target bounced up really nice. We're basically out of it now, though. We've scaled out of it, you know. Like we got out when it bounced up to 127s. We're still in 10 shares, but it's very small. Yeah, I mean, I generally think Disney's going to be fine. I think people, again, what I look for, like the best way I can describe my swing trading strategy is I look for discrepancies in people's, like, okay, I look for like dumpster fires that dip really heavily that I think are probably still pretty healthy. You know, like, so I look for stocks that drop really big on emotion that I think are probably still pretty healthy, right? And those are the swing trades I buy up and I just sit on them and I wait. And they're not really swing trades. They're kind of a mix between investing and swing trading. But what's SQ at right now, though? SQ is dipping down a lot. SQ is one of those ones that I'm considering. This is the company behind Cash App. And so I'm kind of thinking of buying a small piece of this, like a very small piece. It's risky for sure, but like I might buy like a couple shares. And I think I am. I'm going to go ahead and buy that now. All right, so we just bought a few shares of SQ. It's just down so much lately. So. My thoughts on ARM, it was priced at the high end of the IPO range already, now overpriced. I sold my swing in the 69s. I'm expecting it to come down, but there's a lot of hype. Yeah, I mean, ARM, a lot of hype, a lot of attention. This one's been hyped up for like a week leading into this. We bought a couple shares, like not a big position here. We bought 10 shares. So we're just having some fun with it. If we get some big pushes, great. If not, it's not the end of the world for me. Walgreens actually coming back some too. Yeah, quad witching day is today. Yeah, I'm sure politics plays a role in it, BG. Again, I'm pretty neutral politically, but I'm very neutral politically. Like I'm kind of right in the middle. But I don't let that impact my stock trades whatsoever. And I think that's a bad idea. Like, I think, again, I don't have much bias there. I think I just look for like value if it's there. And I think a lot of people who especially like get really wrapped up in that type of stuff generally are, you know, they let it influence their ideas too much. Man, we got to get something fixed on that door, man. That door is just crazy. All right, buddy. I love you, man. Have a good day at school, buddy. All right, I love you, bud.
Hello to the comments.
Oh, Jack said hello to everybody. Love you. Have a good day at school. Love you. All right, guys. Here, Jack. Have a good day at school, buddy, guys. All right. Love you guys. Yeah. My son's in jiu-jitsu now, too. And it's a learning experience. But he's doing good, man. So, honestly, at his gym, the last like 10 minutes of class, and there's like 20-30 kids in this class, right? At the last 10 minutes of class, they let you like call out people and then like fight those people, right? And so Jack called out this kid and then he beat him. He did good. And he's only been doing it for a little bit, but he called out this kid and like they get around and they go doom doom. You know, it's like it's a cool environment, it really is. But Jack won yesterday. He beat his call out, and so he's all pumped about it. Hopefully that'll get him interested in it more. My daughter loves it, you know. Although my daughter got called out by somebody and then kind of lost. I would say she didn't lose, but it was kind of neutral for her. Yeah, I mean, again, the real question is, do we raise rates during this next cycle? The real question is, do we raise rates during this next cycle? And I don't know. 97% of people on the CME Watch tool saying we're going to pause or skip. And so I think we're probably, unless we pull an ECB, I think we're going to pause or skip. I think it's very likely we pause or skip. Again, we got 12 minutes before the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. No, he actually likes saying hey a lot. So like he likes the stream. He told me he wants to be a YouTuber when he gets older. I have to kind of tell him. I have to tell him it's not that easy, and that when he's older, there might be completely different things out there that he might want to do. When I was young, I wanted to be a shark scientist and a snake trainer. So I had a lot of snakes. I wanted a shark, but of course I never got one. But I had a lot of snakes as pets as a kid. Like I wanted snakes. I wanted to be like a shark scientist, which might have been a cool job, but, yeah, 97 is basically 100. I mean, there's a small chance. Again, most people thought the ECB would pause or skip as well, but they raise rates again, and so they shocked people. I think the U.S. market's different, though. I don't think the U.S. market necessarily wants I don't think the U.S. market necessarily wants a shock. I don't think Powell and the Fed wants a shock. And so I think it's very unlikely that they do what the ECB did, which is shock everybody and raise rates when we're expecting a pause or skip. I think the U.S. market is incredibly vulnerable to that type of thing. And so I don't think they're going to shock everybody. I think they're going to skip. I think the most likely outcome is that they're going to skip this cycle, and then the next one in November they're going to raise rates, right? So I think they're going to skip this one, and then in November they're going to raise rates. It's most likely what it is. Yeah, I mean, again, I was a kid. Honestly, I watched the movie Jaws when I was young, and that developed into an obsession with sharks. And then I always wanted a snake, right? So I always wanted snakes, and I was kind of borderline obsessed with snakes as a kid. Like I have ADHD, and my son's very similar to this, in which I become obsessed with different things over time. And I think maybe it's normal, but like I become obsessed with different things. And so I'm like, with ADHD, it's hard to focus, especially on things you're not interested in. But if you're really, really interested in something, you hyper focus onto that thing. And that was me with like snakes and sharks as a kid. Jack's the same way, where he hyper focuses on things he's interested in. And so it's just about making them interested in stuff. But yeah, pawing out here pasting. Quadruple witching day is a day of historical volatility in which all the major contract types expire same day, right? So they don't really have stock futures anymore. I wish they did. Because again, I said this earlier, but think about how nice it would be to be able to trade like Apple futures, no PDT rule. You could day trade Apple with no PDT restrictions. But again, since 2020, they don't have stock futures anymore in the US. So it's actually technically it's triple witching, but we still call it quad witching anyway. But yeah, so it's it's index futures. So like S&P 500 futures, E-mini, NASDAQ, mini. And then it is stock options. So it's like Apple options, NVIDIA options. And then it is index futures, and then index options. So like S&P 500 call options expiring. And so when they all expire the same day, again, the psychology behind it is simple, right? So if it's all the same day, the psychology behind it is that everybody's options are expiring at the end of the day today, and so that might mean there are going to be a lot of buys or sells coming in, a lot of watches. Everybody's eyes are going to be on different things because they know they expire at the end of the day today. So again, it's just a day of historical volatility. It's called Quad Witching Day. It happens 4 times every year. Yeah, I don't know if it's an ADHD thing. I know that everybody in my family is like this though, where we just get like, I remember I just get obsessed with different things. Like, and it bounces from one to another though. Like, again, trading. I was obsessed with trading, and that's what ultimately got me to start this channel. And so I kind of see it as like a good thing. But again, if I'm not interested in something, it's hard for me to really focus on it. All right, guys. Again, ARM at 64.20s, 64.20s. So ARM pushing back up a little bit. Again, this is a microchip ETF. The SPY actually testing the lows of pre-market here, right around 449. Now, again, you got to take yesterday into context as well, though, because, you know, again, bears might be like, look, the market's breaking lows of pre-market. And that's true. It is. But when you zoom out, you see yesterday was a really big green day, right? So yesterday, the SPY gapped up from 446s all the way to basically 450s, you know, so right around 449, we're still up, you know, $4 a share in the SPY alone from yesterday. So while we cracked lows, we'll see what the rest of the market does. Let's see what the NASDAQ's doing. Here's the Q. Again, Q looking similar. And Q's up big yesterday too. And so again, the market's up big for the rest of the earlier this week. It doesn't mean much though, but when you look at a long-term chart of markets, again, here's the Q. It's been a very good year, very good 52 weeks. And it seems to be consolidating now. So we'll see which way this breaks. I mean, I think it could break on either side. You know, I think it could break on the upside. It could potentially break on the downside down here and start testing down here, whatever it wants to do. And again, anything could essentially happen there, you know. Well, again, one of my plans, if we do have a really bloody September, I might start buying some stuff in anticipation for, you know, October, November, December green action. It doesn't necessarily, again, not financial advice. I have no idea what's going to happen, but that's one of the plans that I've had for the last couple of weeks, where if we get big pullbacks, you know. All right, guys. So again, we are getting a little bounce back in Target. Catch back up with the chat. Quad witching day probability to go up is low. Can you explain quad witching day more? Yeah, I mean, quad witching day, again, is a day of historical volatility in which all 4 major contract types expire same day. It's technically just 3 actually now, because there's no longer a thing in the US with stock futures. Like, they don't do stock futures in the US anymore. So it's stock options, and index futures. So with all of that expires on the same day, you just get a lot of buys and sells and eyes on the market. Is really all it really is. It's a day of historical volatility, you know. And for Friday, it'll be interesting. Nobody knows which way we're going to go, though. You know, again, the bears will pressure you to go short. The bulls will pressure you to go long. Nobody really knows, though. collect anything? No, not really. I'm not a big collector. I always thought collecting was a waste of time unless it's business use, like unless it's investing in things. I love Pokemon. I used to love Pokemon. My son loves it now. And I don't really mess with it anymore. But I buy my son occasionally. Like I bought him a holographic Charizard, like grade 10, a couple years ago. That I'm just gonna let him sit on for a few years. I buy him a nice Pokemon card at least a couple times every year, like a valuable Pokemon card at least a couple times every year. And if they appreciate, great. If not, like it's not the end of the world. What I was originally trying to do was to stimulate speculation in him and investing. And it kind of worked, but again, his interest changed so quick. It's hard to get him really interesting. All right, guys, we got about a minute left until the Empire State Manufacturing Index drops. So less than a minute. Empire State Manufacturing Index drops today. We also have import-export prices, but yeah, Empire State Manufacturing Index dropping today. 45 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button to make sure you're fully caught up on stream. Again, they're expecting minus 10 for the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. Again, it rates the level of business conditions in New York. Above zero means improving. Below zero indicates worsening. So above zero indicates economic growth. Below zero indicates economic weakness in New York. They're expecting minus 10. Minus 10 is what they're expecting. All right, guys. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, there we go. It came in at 1.9 growth. So strength in manufacturing and overall business conditions in New York, much stronger than expected. Almost at 2 versus minus 10 expected. At 1.9 versus minus 10 expected. Again, we cover this quick, guys, so subscribe. We cover this data very fast. Minus 10 is what was expected. We ended up showing positive 2. Which again, minus 10 means economic weakness in New York. Above zero means strength. So again, we showed strength versus weakness in New York, at least, for economics. So yeah, again, we'll put this up on screen. But not bad data here if you're looking for strength in the economy. You see the link right here. Yeah, I mean, the market might not like this. Again, the market might not like this, but we'll see. Again, I'm going to hit it sub-only mode, so announce yourself, show us that you're subscribed. We appreciate it. We put ourselves in sub-only mode, so if you haven't already, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Again, market might not like this because, again, lately the market has not liked economic strength. And it's actually it's kind of been backwards land, including CPI, which is even more strange. Like CPI, when a lot of people are saying, "Oh, CPI was going to crash the market," CPI ended up helping the market. So did PPI as well, which is very odd. Like CPI and PPI ended up causing green action in the market, which is why I always tell people, like, definitive answers are usually wrong. Telling people to do something, telling people this is going to happen or this is going to happen when nobody knows is silly. But anyways, SPY moving up a little bit from this though. Not the biggest market reaction. We did see an uptick in volume here, but yeah. Yeah, we got Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations at 10. Yeah, I mean, integrity. Nobody calls data. Nobody says data is not true more than somebody that was wrong about directional predictions. It's kind of like AMC traders, where nobody cries manipulation more than somebody that was wildly wrong about predictions. And I think at a certain point you got to just look at things and say, "Hey, I was wrong," and that's okay. But All right, guys. So that's the economic report right now. We still got a couple minutes. It is quad witch day. Volt Army. All right, I gotta look up this crypto now. If you're not a bot, acknowledge me. What's my name? My name's John. What's my name? Volt people. Yeah, I mean, this is a really rough looking chart, though. Like, let's just be honest here. Like, I appreciate the support, I really do. But this might not be the right channel to do it on, because I mean, here's Volt's lifetime chart. You know, and I'll tell you guys this, like, right, like if you are real people, all right, nobody, okay, like I get it, y'all have this community. Genuinely strong assets don't need to form these communities that make you feel all warm and fuzzy about it, right? Like I say it about AMC, and I'll say it here as well, which is like genuinely strong assets don't need to form these communities of everybody telling everybody how strong it is, right? People buy Apple because they know Apple's strong. Generally, these communities branch out when you get a lot of bag holders and stuff, right? You see it with AMC, where everybody's talking about all these reasons AMC is going to go crazy. They're making all the followers feel all warm and fuzzy, like they're part of a community. They're pressuring them not to sell. Meanwhile, AMC's dropping 75%. And so the reason they're trying to make you feel all warm and fuzzy about these communities is because they're trying to talk people into holding a wildly depreciating asset, you know? And again, genuinely strong assets don't need communities like this formed around them. They just don't, you know. And again, it's all love. I hope it goes up for you guys. I hope Volt or whatever you guys are into goes up for you. I genuinely do, right? But again, a community around a crypto or around a stock means nothing, right? It means nothing. Generally, the only reason communities like that form is to talk traders into holding depreciating assets. Because genuinely strong assets like Apple or Amazon or Bitcoin or whatever, they don't need to pat each other on the back to talk people into not selling, you know? But again, maybe I'm wrong there. All right, well, it looks like y'all are real. And I appreciate the raid. Again, I'm not trying to talk smack, guys, but just be careful. All right, just be careful. Only risk what you're okay with losing. And I hope a Volt goes up for you guys. I really do. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, it's all good. I hope it goes up for you guys. I really do. Anyways. Yeah, again, we'll see what happens here. I don't know what we're going to get, dude. But we'll see what happens. Good luck. Market's starting to break down here. Again, if we do get a September slump, I'll start adding to some positions. We bought a little bit of Square. I got a little pop. Part of me wants to short this. I traded yesterday. Let me see. All right, so part of me wants to short. I don't know if I should yet. Hey, thanks, Gain. Hey, good luck, dude. I hope you're right, bro. Yeah, I hope you're right, brother. You know, again, it's not like I want people to lose money. I'm a skeptic in trading, man. So, again, good luck. I hope it rips up for you, brother. We got a crypto show too. Go subscribe to Beginner Crypto if you like crypto stuff. We might be doing a show today. I'm not sure, but go sub to Beginner Crypto. Here, I'll post the link right here if you want to check it out. It's our crypto channel. We do talk about crypto a lot, and if you want me to look at Volt a little bit deeper, I'll ask him about it. But hey, Tomahawk, my guy, 10 euros. Thanks for pulling up the chart. Please look at the site and check out the utility and ecosystem floors are there to be bought. Hey, thanks, Tomahawk. Hey, thanks, bro. Yeah, I wish you guys the best. Yeah, I see the union strike. Again, the problem is like Ford, it's not the time to do the strike. Like Ford is struggling right now. GM is struggling less, but Ford is still struggling. You know, so again, Ford seems to be a struggle. So it's just a risk, man. It's just a risk. Yeah, for sure. I can respect the not being toxic and respecting other views. Yeah, you as well, Vaulted. Thanks, bro. Yeah, GM and Ford, man. Again, what I'm showing is that like, aren't they requesting like ridiculous salaries? Like I saw one of the Ford CEOs said they're requesting $300,000 a year for working 3 to 4 days a week, which is kind of out there. Like I know you like unions can be good, but in this regard, I just don't know if this is going to be good. And again, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep is a funded is the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions every year and fund thousands of traders a year. We're going to be trading on them a little bit today. It's quad witching day, so you can trade futures on and you can trade futures and there's no PDT rule. Look, so I can buy market, buy bid, sell the ask, just like stocks. I can day trade the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, currencies, gold, silver, and there's no PDT rule. And TopStep is the most legit funded program in the world. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the targets on that demo account while following their rules, they fund you between 50K to 150K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. They're the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions of dollars in actual withdrawals to their funded traders every year and fund thousands a year. Again, it's really good if you're trying to learn how to trade. Most day traders lose money, and that's no exception here on TopStep. Most day traders lose. It doesn't matter where they are. Most day traders are just going to lose money. I personally, when I first got started, lost thousands of dollars in the beginning. It's just a lot cheaper to try a funded account program like this. It's $49 a month. If you lose, you're out $49. It's not the end of the world. If you're good enough to pass it, you get a lot of the rewards of putting up the money yourself. You still get a 90% split. You still get to keep your first 10K in profit. And so it's the best of both worlds, in my opinion. And the patterns in futures, like in the S&P 500 futures contracts, are very similar to like Apple or Amazon patterns, but there's just no PDT rules. So you can day trade them without restriction. And so, yeah, if you want to check out TopStep, we are going to be trading there at the opening bell. It is quad witching day. It is quad witching day. And so, you know, you can check out that link right there if you want to help check out TopStep. Great way to help support the channel. Thank you, Volt traders. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys make money. Unions are awesome. Yeah, I mean, I know unions can help, but I think there needs to be like reasonable things. Like, again, Ford and GM are on the cusp of failure lately, especially Ford, right? Ford, if you look at an EPS graph for Ford, they're not doing that hot. They're not doing that hot. And so, and again, you can kind of see the S&P 500 right here. I'm going to go ahead and short this. Oh, what a bad fill. But again, you can kind of see like Ford is struggling. If you look at its EPS graph over the past year, like it's struggling, right? So now's not the time to put put the pedal to the metal in terms of like pay for them. I don't think. I think they're already struggling. Like the last thing they want is a bunch of strikes hurting their margins even more. It's going to cause them to fail, you know. All right, so we got a little pop, a little bounce. I'm going to add a little bit more here. See if we get a flush back down. All right, we're short in the E-mini S&P 500 futures contract. All right, guys, quad witching day. There we go. I just took half off. Just gonna lock in some profit. Yeah, so exit out of this. All right, guys, so let's get rid of this, get rid of this. All right, so we made a little bit on that short. Again, this is our funded account on Top Step because we're actually funded in multiple accounts over the last couple months. So we just made a little bit there. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. So there's the breakdown. Maybe I could have stayed in my short position. We are breaking down. So there's a low break here. So we just broke lows, the SPY breaking down. Yeah, so I could have stayed in my short. I think I should have. I see this little trend here. So you can kind of see this trend. I think we can go ahead and draw it now because we got enough confirmations on the downside. Although, let me try to fix this. Yeah, it's better. Look at that trend. So that's the trend I'm seeing right now. It doesn't mean we're in it or we're gonna hold it, but that's the trend I see right now. It's a 1 minute trend though, so it's less safe. We also have some type of data. Yeah, I think the problem stock market is that you're saying the same thing over and over again, over and over and over again. It's fine to say it, and I tell people this. I mean, again, you're on a channel that consistently tells people that trading is incredibly risky. Like I'm probably the only day trader out here that consistently tells people it's risky, like very risky. Everybody else is just acting like you can make 20K tomorrow. If you just buy their trading course. But no, I guess the point is like you're just kind of spamming. So. I did warn you of a big incoming drop. I don't think this is big at all, though. I mean, this is a relatively small drop if we look at a long-term chart here. This is the drop we're in right now. So. No, honestly, this Pokemon skateboards are cool. Yeah, those gold Pokemon skateboards, Santa Cruz boards are going for crazy prices. Workers' rights. Yeah, I mean, I'm for unions. I think unions can be good, but I also think they need to pick their battles, and I don't think I don't think striking against the company that is already struggling is going to be the move, because what they're going to push that company to do is just say, okay, we're just going to go somewhere else and like not worry about hiring anybody here. Again, they're striking because they're not getting enough hours, but they're not getting enough hours because the company is struggling. Like Ford's struggling right now, so it's like it's kind of going up to a company that's struggling and saying, hey, you need to pay us more. And it's like, that's the wrong time. It's not good. It's not healthy. That company's going to say, what? All right, like, let's just go somewhere else. And so I think unions are great. But again, if people can't find enough hours at their job, that's not something strike worthy, right? That just means go work somewhere else. Like, listen, if they're paying you really low amounts of money for really demanding work, sure, strike. Right. But if they're just not giving you enough hours, like, again, a company can't necessarily help that. And it's just kind of like, go work somewhere else. But again, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there's nuance to it that I don't understand. I'm sure there is. Here's the crypto channel, Tomahawk. Hold on. Yeah, here's the crypto channel, bro. Again, go sub to it. I think we're doing a show today. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I mean, 400K a year for any job like that is never going to happen. It's just not. 400K a year is like what the 1% makes. Maybe not the 1%. It's what the 5% makes, right? Like almost $500,000 a year. That's what the richest people in the world make. Not the richest, but like the top 10% for sure. And so again, that's just a unreasonable expectation. But again, they might be kind of over. They might be requesting more and understanding that like they're not going to get it, but they might get somewhere in between that, which I guess I understand. Yeah, bargain tactic. That makes sense. Because again, 400K a year is just crazy. They're never going to get that. Yeah, I made this post on Twitter. You go heart this post. And the post says, quote, "No one cries manipulation more than somebody holding a wildly depreciating asset." And it's very true. Let me see how much I made. All right, so again, we got this little trend here. We'll see if we continue in the trend. It's been holding to a certain extent. Let me see. So, let me fix this. Tight range, but breakdown on the E-mini. Now we got a little bit of a cushion today, a little bit. All right, we're still in this trend. You can see the Q here. We can draw the same trend. Again, it's quad wishing day. We still got 35 minutes until the market opens. We do have Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations today, dropping at 10 a.m., I believe. But yeah, you can kind of see the same trend we drew in futures here. I should have stayed in my short, though. I'll have to fix this. That's right. All right, so yeah, you can kind of see the same type of trend. If we put up a 5-minute chart, it might be a little bit cleaner. Here's the 5-minute trend. Let me fix it a little bit. Longer term, but still there. So yeah, we'll see if it holds. SPY still consolidating. Looks weak, but not like really red or anything like that. Quad witching is a day where all major contract types expire. Index options, stock options, and index futures. It happens 4 times a year. All right, guys. So for rental properties, the 1% rule is pretty like there, like right. It's the right rule. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, triple witching day is technically what it is now, because we don't have stock futures anymore. I wish we did, because again, stock futures would be nice. Apple back up. Hey, I didn't even see Apple rip. Look at Apple popping right now. So Apple's starting to move, dragging the rest of the market up a little bit, but Apple up. Maybe see this has got to be catalyst driven, I'm assuming, right? Especially when the rest of the market is down. There's got to be some type of news release coming out about this. Let's see. Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max models in China quickly seeing 4 to 5 week delays, according to Bloomberg. The 15 Pro seeing 2 to 3 week delays. So yeah, that news just dropped about 10 minutes ago when this thing started. So that's what it was. Again, that's what is causing these pops. So yeah, Bloomberg reporter Mark Gurman tweeted, quote, iPhone 15 Pro Max deliveries are already seeing 4 to 5 week delays overseas. Pro is seeing 2 to 3 week delays. So that's what's causing Apple to spike. Again, you can see it dropped. Like, again, that's what the news is. And this is 100% what's causing this pop, because again, the news dropped at about 7:45. Look at the volume increase right when the news article came out, and then look at the price increase as well, right? So again, that's the news. You can see the quote right here at the bottom of the screen. That's what's making this pop happen. Hey, thanks, Tomahawk. Thanks, bro. Good luck, dude. Now, moving jobs is actually pretty easy. I mean, I understand it's not easy for everybody, but I guess the point is, like, if you're not getting enough hours, I mean, that's what you do. I mean, again, that's what you do. If you're not getting enough work hours, you can't stay at the same job. You can't get mad at the job for not giving you hours. You got to go find another job. That's part of life, right? That's a natural expectation of life in general. Is like, if you don't get enough hours at your job, you got to find a new job or ask them for more hours. If they don't have the capability of giving you more hours, like Ford, again, struggling. If you look at Ford's EPS, right? Ford's had a tough few year period, right? Ford is not the pinnacle of success right now in companies. And so again, that's probably why they can't give people that many hours. And again, that should be understandable. If you look at both sides, it should be understandable. And so again, if I'm in that situation and I'm working for Ford and they can't give me more hours, the natural expectation of me is to look for work elsewhere. You can keep your job at Ford, but you got to look for work elsewhere. That's kind of what happens. Yeah, and again, I think especially now, it's very easy to find work online. Right, you can earn 30, 40K a year working online, right? You can do a lot of different stuff. You can teach yourself another language and be a translator. You can teach yourself, you can do Uber, you can do Lyft, you can do Uber Eats, you can do all that different stuff. And if you do it right, if you do it correctly, you'll make good money doing it. And so that's one of the nice parts about life now, is that no matter what, you'll be okay. Yeah, you can keep the job, find another one while you're working, especially if you don't have that many hours. It should open you up to time to be able to do so. All right, guys, we got less than 30 minutes. Right, for sure. But right, that's just a normal part of life. All right, again, still in that 5-minute trend on the queue. All right, guys. 25 minutes. At least Bruce is up barking, man. He got fixed yesterday, so it's been a tough time for Bruce. It's been a hard time for Bruce. Not the best time of his life right now, for sure. But at least he's up barking and happy. Good luck, guys. Hey, we'll see. Let me know what you guys expect the market to do today. Again, I don't know what we're gonna get today, man. I don't know if we're gonna get good action, bad action, green action, red action. Nobody knows. We'll see if the market treats us well or not today. Again, nobody knows what we're gonna get. We know it is quad wishing day, so it's a day of historical volatility. But we don't know how bad it's gonna get today or not. Yeah, Apple up a lot. Is Tesla up? I haven't even looked at Tesla. Tesla over 278. All right. Yeah, Apple is up because after potential bans overseas of some iPhones, they're back ordered for weeks now. An article came out by Bloomberg. You can see the Apple news is right here. Right. Again, Bloomberg reporter Mark tweeted, quote, iPhone 15 Pro Max deliveries have already slipped to 4 to 5 week delays. 15 Pro is seeing 2 to 3 week delays. And so delays are getting there. There's a lot of interest in them now. You're supposed to roll over your options. I'm not sure. Your futures contracts, you already should have rolled them over. I know on Top Step, I've had to roll them over to Z. So the symbol is now ESZ3 instead of ESU3. Apple's still trying to make that pop, though. Look at Apple. We can look at the Q here as well. Testing the top of that range on the trend. We just broke the top of the range. Yeah, I see a lot of AMC traders now mad. And again, I mean, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I did. And again, it really goes to show there's a couple common principles in trading that you should always have, right? You never get mad at the messenger, right? Don't shoot the messenger. Don't pressure people not to sell. Don't shame people who do sell. If more than 5 conspiracy theories about how a squeeze will happen comes out in less than 6 months, people might just be manipulating you to grow a following online. And you don't need these warm and fuzzy communities around stocks. And if you have one around stocks, it generally means they're trying to talk you into not selling a wildly depreciating asset. All right. Those are the rules of stock trading. You can't be moral traders. You can't trade morality. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. it hasn't worked with basically anything. So just be smart. Michael Burry, I know I give him some heat, but Michael Burry famously said, and this is an area where I genuinely agree with him, which is, I look for value wherever value can be found. I bought up Target after the huge slump. I bought up Disney after the huge slump, and I made money on them. I look for value wherever I can find it. And I don't get morality in there. I don't get politics in there. I don't get pressure from communities that are mostly just stuck big in different stocks, right? These communities form around stocks that have dropped massively over time, because that's why these communities form, is because you got a bunch of people who are down really, really big on something, right? And when they start to talk to each other, confirmation bias, they kind of pat themselves on the back and all that good stuff, right? But that's how it happens. And so again, anytime you see any type of asset or security or anything with like a huge following around it, right? This big community of supportive traders all in it together, they'll say, right, y'all are holding depreciating assets together. Again, genuinely strong companies don't need that. They just don't need that. Like, the people are going to buy them without needing a warm and fuzzy community around the stock. And so think about it. Like, genuinely think about if you can think about what I said objectively just now, and I wish him the best. I'm in AMC. I hope it goes up, but I'm not going to participate in that warm and fuzzy, nonsense. Either way, it's a win because it goes up, I make money. It goes down, I get a discount. Well, yeah, you can look at blue chip stocks that way. And that's exactly how I look at blue chip stocks. If it goes up, great, I make money. If it goes down, I can average into it over time. And if it's a good enough, healthy enough company like Apple, Amazon, Google, Walmart, you know what I mean? Like, over time, those are going to eventually go back up, So, like, very easy to make money on those stocks. You just buy them and you sit, But the problem is that people take that mentality, which is, in my opinion, it's subjective, but in my opinion, it's the right mentality to have in blue chips. And they take that, and then they have the same mentality in penny stocks where 95% of them fail, or they have the same thing in just like really big depreciating assets that the future business is speculatable. You know what I mean? Like, you can speculate on whether that business is going to be around in 5 years. Those are the worst companies to do this on, because again, you keep adding to those, you might end up with zero. You might lose your everything if you keep adding to those, right? And so you can do that with blue chip healthy companies, broad market ETFs, gold, historically proven inflation hedges like gold, silver, the S&P 500, real estate to a certain extent. But you can't really do that with like really speculative stocks that are not large cap, that have not been around, that don't have that time tested history to do it on. And that's the biggest mistake I see a lot of new traders make, is that they take these mid caps or these penny stocks that are new and really hyped up, and they treat them like they're Amazon, and they treat them like they're Apple. They treat them like it's Walmart, and it's not. It's just not. And so another important thing is, like, diversification is a very common tool of protection in trading, right? Like, when you diversify into enough things, you're safe. A lot of these guys are putting all their money, like literally all their life savings, all their money on one thing, right? It's a terrible idea, because anybody can be wrong about anything. Even blue chips can go against you, right? So you should diversify into many different ones, right? And that's another time-tested, proven strategy that you should understand if you're putting money into things. And so just think about that objectively. My job is to help new traders. Like, my channel is called Beginner Trading because I'm trying to help traders, and that's the reality of the market. So just be smart, understand that. Don't be naive. You're going to have a lot of, for lack of a better word, propaganda out there about different stocks, where a lot of people are stuck and misery loves company, and they're desperate and they're emotional, and so they're trying to push. But again, truly healthy companies don't need that. They don't need people doing that. People are going to buy them regardless. Yep, exactly, Liz. That's absolutely right, bro. What's up, Manny? Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. All right, guys. So, quad witching day, we got 15 minutes. All right, guys, I'm back. What's up, Ren? What's up, Tiny? Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's all good. What's your opinion on DG stock? DG is a stock that has a lot of risk long term. You know, the reason it has a lot of risk is because you just don't need to go to Dollar General anymore, right? You can buy a lot of the stuff they sell at Dollar General on Amazon, get it shipped to you overnight. And so DG over time is going to become less and less busy, worse and worse margins, make less and less until eventually it goes bankrupt and goes out of business, right? Like that's the obvious future of Dollar General and other companies like it. Because again, technology has evolved past that to where you don't need to go to DG anymore to buy that stuff. You can get the same stuff online for probably cheaper, much more efficient, much less work, you know, and in the end, it's just easier to do. But again, I mean, there's a chance I'm wrong there. I might be wrong. And I know a lot of people have invested into DG, and so they might not like hearing that. It's definitely not music to their ears. But, you know, it is what it is. That's my take on it. I might be wrong. I think the same thing about Dish. I've been saying the same thing about Dish and AT&T for the last year straight. Dish has had a rough year. AT&T has had a rough year too. Although I think AT&T will still be around. I don't necessarily think AT&T is going to fail. I just think that it's going to lose business over time from no contract-based prepaid phone services. I think a lot of people are moving away from getting locked into a super long-term contract for everything, especially phones. And so I think AT&T is still going to be around. I just think they're going to make less in the future. I think they're just going to make less, you know. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Shepard. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. That's what I see it moving forward, like into the future. I see. Again, I see them, Verizon, you know, all those different companies. I see them struggling because it's kind of like Comcast, right? Like Comcast, people don't need to pay $300 a month for cable anymore. You know, you can literally get Hulu TV or YouTube TV or Sling TV or Fubo TV for like $60 a month, no contract. Cancel whenever you want. You get the same stuff. You get the exact same thing. If you get that in Amazon Prime, you basically have Comcast, right? If you get Amazon Prime in one of those streaming TV companies, you basically have Comcast. You basically have DirecTV, but it's like way cheaper. There's no contract. The problem with Comcast is the customer service reps are just the sleaziest people in the world, right? Like they'll tell you a certain price, you know, and then they just lie. They'll straight up lie to you about the price, right? And you won't really know how much you're going to have to pay until you get your first bill. And so I think over time that's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And so people are leaving that in droves. And I think it's going to be more and more prevalent of that over time. I think it's just people are going to keep leaving that. At this point in time, internet is the same. Like satellite internet, like Starlink, cheap, much cheaper, no contract based, like Comcast. Fiber optic in my area, it's like $80 a month, $90 a month, no contract. I get 1,000 up, 1,000 down internet, better than Comcast too. And so I think all those things over time are going to trickle into those businesses losing money until technology evolves to the point where they're obsolete. The only thing that's really keeping Comcast and DirecTV and other companies like that alive is their deals with sports networks. Is that like you can't watch the Astros unless you have them. But for a lot of people, it's still not worth it. There's other ways I can watch the Astros games outside of that. And Hulu, Fubo have great sports packages as well. All right, so now we got Michigan consumer expectations. Let's see what the options day looks like here. But yeah, we got Michigan. We got Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. All right, guys, so we got inflation data coming out too. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes. Yeah, so we got Michigan consumer sentiment. All right. All right, so again, the consumer sentiment and consumer confidence report drops today at 10 a.m. in about a couple minutes. All right. So we got all this live. Let's see what else we got today. Quad witching. We might trade some options live today too. Let me put the music back on here for a second, team. Almost done. Let me see what else we got. Sheesh. Bumping into it. Again, triple witching days today. It's called quad witching, but it's really triple witching. You can see Apple dipping down to the volume weighted average price. We still got about 5 minutes. Still in this downward push here. The Q's trying as well. What else do we got? Yeah, we do have quad witching day today. Triple witching. All right, let me put the music back on. Sorry, I know it's sad. Look at Apple dip all the way back down. Weird. All right, sorry, we're back. I had to edit some stuff. Yeah, 27 an hour is really not that much for oil rigs, to be honest, Lits. It doesn't seem like worth it to me. $27 an hour is not that much money. And it just seems like tough work. And I can respect anybody that does it, but yeah, I like matcha. Hey, what's up, Todd? All good, dude. Just take it slow, trade small. That's all I tell people. Way to make money is to hit the like button. Again, I think there's enough skills, man. I think people just need to invest in skills. You know, again, you could drive Uber, work for Uber Eats, Lyft, Uber, do stuff like that, and make $30,000-$40,000 a year doing it. And again, you could do that. More importantly, you could do that. And meanwhile, finding other skills, like finding skills. Look at these drops in the E-mini here. And again, this is quad wishing, so it might be. Most of this is from Apple dropping, it looks like. But yeah, the spot 447s. They're actually still green relative to yesterday, though. Although not too green. We opened up yesterday at like 446. So last 2 days were mostly flat. Opening bells in 2 minutes. And that, weird enough, we're actually making more money today than we were. What are we making money on today? Oh, ARM. ARM is flying up, guys. I forgot I bought ARM too. I completely forgot about buying ARM here. This is what we're making money on today. We're going to take half off here. Just lock it in. I forgot about this, dude. I completely forgot I was holding this. All right, we just took half off, locked it in. Cool little $50 there. We'll take it. Yeah, I completely forgot about ARM, and it's ripping up too. The rest of the market's kind of fading back down though, but it's all good. Disney, we're very green on Disney today too, but we've already taken most of the profit off of that. Again, it is September, so we still got 2 weeks left of it. If we get some more slumps, I'll buy into it and then look for a pop, but all right, looking still weak, man. Again, quad witching day, not a disappointment. Apple started to pop back up a little bit, though. ARM is up big. Definitely been a weaker trend today. All right, a little pop back up. Again, market's open 20 seconds ago. We'll watch Tesla. Look at Apple come all the way back down. So this is looking weak right now. I'm going to short it, I guess, but it's risky because we are down so much. Luckily, we got a cushion on the day already, so I think Apple looks weak, and that might weigh the market down. That's the reason I'm shorting. All right, we got 2 contracts now, short. Let's see if we break down again. We got 2 contracts short. We already green a little bit on the day too, so we're using that as a justification to take a little bit larger trade into the opening bell here. But I just patiently wait though. Look at Apple test the previous close. Just being patient. There we go. All right, tap that low again. Again, I'm trying to be patient here and just wait, but all right, we took half off just to protect the trade because it's too much risk to sit on this too long, especially at the opening bell. And I think I can give it a little bit more time, be a little bit more loose with it if it works, and if not, it'll protect the trade. There we go. There we go. All right, so we just locked it in, just made over $100. We'll take it. Calculated risk today. Our short worked at the open, though. Apple breaking down. We thought Apple would be the catalyst to drag this down. Apple down under the previous closing price. ARM at 67s. Yeah, somehow we're doing really green. Mostly on Disney, Amex, ARM, Gold, Coca-Cola, Honeywell, PayPal, Roblox. So even though the market's really red, somehow my trades are doing green, which I'll take. Nice. Let me see if there's anything I should take profit in stocks. I should probably take a little bit more PayPal off. PayPal's having a huge open. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lock some more in because I can. I just took a couple shares off at the highs. ARM starting to reverse back down. Yeah, Disney going too, honestly. And I already took some profit off of it this morning, but It's all the way up to basically $86. I'll take a little bit more now. I just locked in a little bit more. You can see my P&L on the day. It's not a huge P&L a day, but we're about $170 on stocks. Futures, and then again, this is our funded account, so futures are up 100. So not doing bad there. Yeah, for sure, Ren. I mean, that's what I did. Like, again, I used to work as a manager for people's employee benefits with United Airlines, right? So I worked there, right? And like, I was a good employee, you know. Like, I remember I would score like $100 on the or 100% on the testing, and I was the only person there that would score 100% when they would test like our skills and work. And I did really well. Like, I would do it really well. Always got good reviews. And I was a temp. And when it came time to give you full-time positions, they literally fired everybody that started with me except for 5 people. And the 5 people did worse on me on their scores and their testing, but they were like friends with like the higher ups, right? So like their friends basically got the job over me. And, you know, they didn't fire me because they knew I was a good worker, right? So they kept me on, but they kept me on as a temp when literally I was the only person they kept on as a temp. And literally everybody else got like promoted to like full-time employees, even though they all had worse scores than I did, right? That just really rubbed me the wrong way because I guess it was like work politics. And so I left the job. Best decision I ever made. I left the job. And there was a lot of other stuff going on, but I eventually started my own business. And like, I'm so glad I never stayed at that job. If I would have stayed at that job, I would, I'm sure, make peanuts compared to what I make now. And so it's just again, I hated working for others. I hated the politics of work, you know. Anyways, market's still pushing up. ARM still heading up too. We locked in some profit though. American Express up. I bought American Express a couple of days ago. I'm wondering if I should start taking profit there too. Honeywell green again today. PayPal, Roblox green. We'll give Roblox time. Disney up to over 86 for a split second. Roblox. Again, I got that $30 call option. Roblox at 28.5. We still got a month and a week. Let that work. So Apple's starting to try to come back up over that previous closing price. You can see it right here. There's the previous close. Just trying to get back over it. I guess that's why we're all here on Friday. Yeah. Honestly, if I was still working that job, we wouldn't be. And so I was never one that was super rigid with work either. Like if I didn't like it, I'd leave. And, you know, some people can say that's a bad thing. And I get it. Maybe it is. But I hated working for other people. Again, Apple, such a heavily weighted stock. Apple's the most heavily weighted stock in the market. It's rejecting at the previous closing price, which is making all of this come back down. Right, exactly, Tony. Yeah, the best advice I can give, and again, I'm not acting like I'm the most successful person in the world right now or anything like that, right? Like, I'm not acting like that at all. But, you know, my own advice, is monetize what you're interested in. Find out what you're interested in and monetize that however you can. You know, because not only are you going to enjoy work, which is a huge part of happiness in life, but you're going to know it well. Right? You're going to know it well. And if you don't know it well, you're going to be interested enough in it to learn it well. Right? And when you know something well and you learn something well, that's when you can really find businesses to build that other people can't see because they're not as passionate about whatever it is, you know? And so that's really the move, I think, is monetize your passions. But again, I'm not trying to act like I'm the most successful dude in the world or anything like that. But I'll tell you this, I'm mostly happy with my jobs, you know? Disney up to $86 a share, still trying to break. Market's actually been pretty flat since the opening bell. We've gone up, down, up, down. Apple's been Slightly red. It broke down under the previous closing price. Slightly red on the day, testing lows now. And so I think I want to short the market because I'm going to assume Apple's going to crack lows, but might be a little early. It's definitely risky with quad witching day today. At least we got a cushion of about $100 on the day though, so that's nice. All right, so there's 2 contracts in Apple. Let's see if we can crack lows again. There we go. Took half off there. Protected the trade. Yeah, we're gonna give it time. Again, there's Apple flushing down. I'm gonna assume Apple wants to crack this low real quick, and that might drag this down. Is what I'm hoping at least. If we get a big breakdown, great. If not, we should have a, you know. All right, we just locked it in. We're up 130 on the day. Small gain. It's taking too much time. I think my thesis is right, though. I think Apple's going to break lows, and then this is going to come back down. But I might be wrong, and just in case I'm wrong, I'm going to just small gains. All right, guys, Disney up, but we're pretty flat here, man. On a day in which it's supposed to be a day of historical volatility, we're pretty quiet, man. There's just not really much going on today, honestly. Watch Apple, though. Apple's really what's quiet right now. All right, I'm short again. Apple's cracking lows. This should drag the E-mini back down with me. There we go. I just made another $50. We are now up on the day, and this is our funded account too. We are now up about 212s. Disney breaking highs again. Oracle, we're still in Oracle. We took a little bit off yesterday, but not much. Green and Coca-Cola today too. Gold, one of the nicer greens. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, you can check out the link here. It's a funded account program for futures in which they give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the target while following their rules, they fund you between 50 to 150K with a 90% split. It's a great way to learn how to day trade. If you want to day trade, which I'm sure is a lot of people here, Top Step's the most legit way to learn, in my opinion. It's subjective, but like, I think it's a lot cheaper. You still have same pressure. Like they give you a demo, right? So they give you base one's 50K. It's $49 a month. And they're going to give you a demo and they're going to test your skill. If you can hit the target while following their rules, which is a 2 to 3 ratio, you got to make 3K without losing 2K. And following their rules, they fund you 50K. And there's also 150K combine, so forth and so on. And there's free funding coaches and learning these challenges and testing your skill. Build skill in trading. Again, when you add free funding coaches and great resources and community for $49 and the capability of getting funded. Like if you're good enough to get funded, you get a 90% split once you are funded. They pay out millions and fund thousands of traders every year. They've been around for over a decade, and they're kind of the most legit one in the world. Again, it's really useful because it limits your risk as a new trader. you're still learning how to trade. You still have some pressure, because you're still going to lose money if you lose, but it's not the full extent of risking thousands like most new traders do. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get a lot of the rewards you would if you put the money up yourself, like 90% split. And so in that regard, it just makes perfect sense, I think, if you're trying to learn how to day trade. And in the futures market, there's no PDT rule. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market. You can see buy, sell, or buy market, sell market is what I'm usually doing. And this is the S&P 500 futures contract. I can also do it on the NASDAQ, gold, silver, currencies to a certain extent. And so it's just useful. And again, if you want to check it out, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm certainly biased in their favor because they pay me money. But yeah, you can check out the link right there. Market's so flat right now, though, and Apple's starting to push up. So I'm just kind of yeah, I mean, market's mostly down. Here's the E-mini right here. This is basically the SPY right here in the futures. I don't want to hold anything for this data, but yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how much it's going to affect the market. Sometimes the University of Michigan consumer sentiment stuff can influence the market a lot. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it's not always slow. Like, this data release is not always slow. Like, it can do a bunch of stuff. It can be busy. It can be slow. We don't really know. Mixtape coming soon. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to get. Again, the expectation for it here, if we look at the expectations today, is consumer sentiment is expected at 69.1. This consumer sentiment index is a survey comparing the relative level of both future and current conditions. Prelim and revised. Today's the prelim data. Prelim data tends to have a greater impact, and so today's that one. Today's the prelim data. So a higher reading is generally supportive of economic growth. We also have inflation expectations today. They're expecting 3.5%. It measures percentage that consumers expect the price of goods and services to change during the next 12 months. So they're expecting inflation to go up 3.5% over the next 12 months for the University of Michigan. So, or the University of Michigan is the one doing that. But no, I don't know if this is this isn't the UMich. I'm sorry, this is not the University of Michigan. This is just the Michigan one. I know it is the University of Michigan, sorry. And then we also have current conditions. But again, the consumer sentiment, which is the one that's the most watched one, they're expecting 69.1. So mostly red action leading up to this report. What is the reason for the fall? I mean, sometimes the market's just red. You know, we're not always going to be green. Again, CPI, PPI showed up the last few days. You can blame it on Apple down here. You can see Apple in this bottom right chart. You could blame it on Apple, but the last few days, it's probably just the market's up a lot. CPI came out, PPI came out, market reacted pretty positively to all of it. So... All right, got a little pop back up. Again, we still got 11 minutes before the consumer sentiment data comes out. Next quad witch is December 15th. Yeah. We'll get one more this year. ARM back up to 66.5. We do have a downtrend here that we can see. All right, Apple under the previous close, consolidating around it. So that could be one of the reasons the market dipped, but we don't really know. There's not really any reason sometimes behind it. Markets go up and down. As traders, you want to just make sure not to sensationalize the movement too much. If you zoom out, nothing that we've gotten over the last year has been super red. Like we've had a couple weeks of red, a couple weeks of green, but like none of it has been like catastrophic red by any means. And if you look at the market since this year started, on a weekly chart especially, again, here's a weekly chart of the SPY since January. All right, here's a weekly chart of the SPY since January. Pretty obvious, consistent trend up this year. Doesn't mean we're gonna stay in it, but that's, hey, shout out to Eduardo. Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate the love, man. Thanks so much, dude. Oh, but yeah, that's the SPY this year. Yeah, market's mostly down. Again, you can kind of see Apple's just kind of choppy. It's just moving sideways. Gold is up. Yeah, I'm in a little bit of gold too. I've kind of got gold as like a hedge. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why the last hour is bearish because everybody's selling. You know, everybody's getting out because it's expiring, right? So that makes sense, I guess. What do you think more downside on the Q or in SPY today? I mean, we've definitely got downside so far. I'm not sure what we're going to do after today. But we've definitely had more red action this morning, of course. Hey, but yeah, thank you for becoming a member, man. Shout out to you, Eduardo. Thanks so much. Hey, this reminded me that time when you used to send and get shout outs on the radio. What? Hey, thank you, Eduardo. Oh, you mean my shout out to you? Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, no offense, but if you got a name like that, I'm never going to say the name. And no offense, if you got a name like that and you are over 25, you might want to reevaluate your life, brother. If that's your online username and you're over 25 years old, I mean, even if you're under 25, I mean, still not really a recommended username, bro. But hey, I mean, use whatever username you want, bro. I'm not going to acknowledge your name, though, if it's something like that. The indexes are red. Yeah, most things are red right now for sure. You got to upgrade to a PC, Todd. Apple's cool, but PCs are better. Let's just be honest here. Yeah, Tesla's down. A lot of stuff's down, really. Apple's down, Tesla's down. We got 5 minutes before the Michigan consumer data comes out. Nvidia's down. Nvidia under 450. Learned how to trade consistently from your streams. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the $5 dono, man. Thanks. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate the love, guys. All right, again, we got the Michigan data coming out. Market's kind of flat and sideways. What are your thoughts on UAW? I think it's a mistake. The strike is a mistake. I think that it's fun if you're striking against low pay, but this strike isn't against low pay. It's because they're not giving them enough hours. And I think a business can't necessarily help not giving enough hours. And especially a business like Ford, which is overall really struggling over the last few years. Like, they've had a hard time showing profits consistently, consecutively, quarter after quarter over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And so their workers striking because they're not getting enough hours doesn't make sense. Like, if they're not giving you enough hours, find another job. Like, seriously, like that's the move there. And I get it. Like, it sucks, but like, you got to find another job if that's the case. Because again, like, you can't force a company to give you more hours if they don't have the capabilities to do so. You know, it's not like they're just not giving people hours to be mean. Like, they're not giving people hours probably because they don't have enough money to pay everybody, right? And so I understand unions can be useful, but I think here it's a mistake. And I think it's just going to drive business outside of the U.S. It's going to drive businesses in places outside. So, yeah, that's my take on it. But again, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there's a nuance to it I don't understand or that I'm missing, and that's possible for sure. I don't know. All right, guys. Hey, we got 3 minutes before the consumer sentiment data comes out. S&P cracking lows ahead of this. And again, this is the prelim data, which usually causes like larger moves in markets relative to the other one. So this is a big move, you know. All right, testing lows right now. Man, what's happening with Rivian, man? I haven't even seen Rivian lately. I haven't even heard about it. I haven't seen it. AMC back up. Hey, I'm for it. I'm in AMC. I hope it keeps going. Yeah, there's always a leak. There's always but never a leak. If you know, you know. All right, guys, here's the data release in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, guys, 1 minute left. 1 minute before the consumer sentiment data. Again, what they're expecting is they are expecting 69.1 for consumer sentiment. We'll see if this moves the market, especially on Quad Witch Day. We got 45 seconds. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button to make sure we're fully caught up on stream as well. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Five seconds. And there's the release. All right, Michigan consumer sentiment came in lower than expected at 67.7. 67.7 is what consumer sentiment showed up as. Now, if we're going trending with what we've done earlier in the week, this could be seen as a positive thing. Consumer sentiment came in at 67.7 versus 69.1 expected. Consumer expectations came in higher than expected slightly, and current conditions came in lower than expected. And again, as I said, this probably is going to cause positive reactions because of inflation fears. And there's the market rebounding some. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold, but that's the report right now. Again, here's the consumer sentiment. Again, 67.7, lower than expected. We'll put this data up on screen. But so far, market responded positively to this. Put it up on screen. It is ripping up some. Again, we are going to be doing a crypto show today. All right, guys. Market has popped up a little bit. Hey, baby. Doing all right? All right. All right, we got Carol here.
Morning.
All right, so we did have consumer sentiment and data coming up. All right, baby. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Hold on one second. All right, sorry, Carol, you know how she does. She comes at exactly the wrong time every time. But market's pushing up on this data. Again, I told you guys, market probably wants this, you know. And just less inflation fears. And honestly, my portfolio is popping up a little bit. Like, hey, we got again, Honeywell doing really nice. Honestly, I might have to take some more off Honeywell here. Gold doing well, Ford green, Disney very green, AXP, American Express green, ARM very green on it too. And so the market's starting to bounce back a little bit. It's still pretty red on the day. It's still, you know, noticeably red. But yeah. Oh. Thank you, baby. Love you.
So, yeah, we got also sometimes we look at your groceries
All right.
for this weekend.
All right. Love you. All right, guys. All right, guys. Again, we're going to be pivoting over to our crypto show. Before you leave, again, as soon as we close this stream, it should immediately bring you to our crypto show. But check out Top Step. Again, if you want to day trade, a funded account program will probably save you money. Again, I know for me, I lost thousands trying to day trade with real money in the beginning. And they always say you should be paper trading. But even if you're a good trader, a funded account program makes sense, right? People hate on them is mostly because they lose. But funded account programs make sense. Top Step is the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions in actual withdrawals to their traders every year. They've been around for over a decade. And what they do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. Just taking the challenge builds your skill. You still have some pressure. It's not the full extent. Like, you're not going to lose thousands of dollars on one combine, but you're still going to lose money. And so it's a perfect middle ground of pressure. And so if you want to learn how to day trade, they have free funding coaches. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you're good enough to pass it, they fund you. If you're not good enough to pass it, you're probably going to lose less than you would putting up the money yourself. So check out Top Step. Great way to help support the channel. The other sponsor of mine is a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Again, this is just genuinely useful. I've showed people this every day, but again, it's useful because what it allows you to do is see different custom alerts. It's kind of like custom VWAP alerts, custom signals. And again, I like using a 5-minute chart for my trading. Like, I like using a 5-minute chart, and then I usually put up the like to see what once you're subscribed to them, right? And it's a trading view indicator service. I can go to this. I like using the Market Oracle Pro, the regular chart patterns, and the regular Market Oracle. But there's smart money concepts. I can put up oscillators, all this stuff, and you can see it shows you different patterns. Like, look at this rising wedge break. Look at that breakdown here. Again, if you look at their buy and sell signals, right, you'll notice, like, I can't fake this. It's incredibly accurate. But like, let me get this Market Oracle out the way first. Look at how accurate the strong buy signals are. Like, again, look at how accurate the strong buy signals are. And again, I can't fake this, but like, look, strong buy signal here, nice bounce. Sell signal here, look at this drop down. And it also was the flag pattern break. Strong buy signal here, bounce. Strong buy signal right here, nice bounce. Strong buy signal here, nice bounce. Again, buy signal here, nice bounce. Sell signals here, drop. This one might not have worked. This one definitely worked. Look at this big drop, right? This one worked as well. Nice little drop. And so again, I can't fake what I'm showing you. This is terrible drawings. I'm sorry. But that's just one part of that. I can also take this off and put up the regular Market Oracle, which shows you reversals here. So like, check this out. It shows you regular reversals. And you can use this on any time frame, a 1-minute time frame, an hourly time frame, which is really my favorite. I think the biggest edge with these is when you get a engulfing candle and a reversal candle showing up at the same point in time. And so look at this. Look at that. Huge bounce afterwards. Same thing here, bearish engulfing and reversal down signal, nice drops. And this, every candlestick represents 5 minutes. So this is like an hour of drops that you get afterwards. Again, I can also put up an hourly chart and make every candlestick represent an hour. There's just so much stuff that they offer, and it's pretty cheap. It's like $40 a month. So again, they are a sponsor of mine. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. I'm definitely biased because they pay me money as a sponsor, but I find them genuinely useful for my trading. And again, you can use them to learn the patterns as well. Having this teaches you the patterns a little bit easier, and it teaches you how to watch for them too, in my opinion. But yeah, check it out. There's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Again, as soon as we close this stream, we're immediately going to pivot to our crypto channel, guys. So you shouldn't have to go anywhere, because as soon as we close this, we're going to go to our crypto channel as well and do a crypto show on the Token 2049 conference. All right, so as soon as we close this stream, it should redirect you. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, go to youtube.com/beginnercrypto. And aside from that, y'all have a safe and happy weekend. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Y'all be safe, be good, and we'll see what the market gives us today. So far, we've gotten bounce backs from the consumer sentiment data, and yeah, we'll see what we get. But again, we're going to go ahead and start this show, and yeah, I'll see you guys over there.